Hey, what's up guys, Xuen here. So, I know it's been a while since I made the last video. I'm actually streaming right now. I'm gonna do a quick macro guide because I was requested to do this by a lot of people. So we're gonna basically go through my macros and kind of list them off, and I'll try to leave them down in the description if you guys just want to copy pasta. And yeah, let's just get started. So, I use several macros for Runewalker, like Touch of Death, Fist of Fury, and I also macro like a lot of my abilities to pet attack, because pet attacks, especially when you run the Azurite trait that spawns an Invoke, Furious Xuen, it's really helpful to have pet attack macros, or if you run Invoke, pet attack macros allow you to take instant command over your pet, and it allows your pet to switch targets a lot faster than relying on the normal UI or game AI is what I should say. So I'm gonna basically just go down the list, and I'll leave one modifier macro in the description, because if I leave all my modifier macros in the description, it will be a very long description, and I don't think I have that much space. So pretty much what you can do is you can just, I'll show you, you can pretty much replace the spells as needed. So let's go into my macros really quick and just kind of go down the list. So I have a lot of macros that I had since Mop. I'm just waiting for them to hopefully bring spells like Sun Meditation back. But let's go down the list, starting with my Paralysis macro. So obviously I have a Focus Paralysis macro, but I have a special Paralysis macro here. So this Paralysis macro is really useful. It's really simple. What it does is it cancel auras your Rushing Jade Wind and Spinning Crane Kick if you're running Rushing Jade Wind. And the reason why you want to cancel aura macro for your Rushing Jade Wind and Spinning Crane Kick is because if you paralysis someone and they're right next to you, if you're casting Spinning Crane Kick while your paralysis is next to someone, it'll instantly break. So if you have a cancel aura macro for your Rushing Jade Wind and your Spinning Crane Kick, you don't run the risk of breaking your paralysis if it's right next to you. So I highly recommend running this macro. It's / cancel aura Rushing Jade Wind / cancel aura Spinning Crane Kick and / cast Paralysis. I also have like Arena 1, 2, 3 Paralysis, but that's for arenas. Let's get into my burst macro. Is just very simple. I just have a bunch of toys. I'm not gonna link this macro. You guys can pause the video if you'd like, but they're just a bunch of toys that I have that makes me light up when I use it. So just makes me light up. Basically tells people that if they don't pop cooldowns, I'm going to do a lot of damage to them. It's a little handicap on my end. That's pretty fun. But let's get down to my first modifier macro. Now, these modifier macros are really helpful for arenas if you're running 3s, or even 2s, or if you're just running with your friends. And what it allows you to do, it allows you to save a lot of room on your action bars by utilizing 3 spells pretty much in one macro. So what this does is that, like, show tooltip Detox, and if I hit S, which is what my Detox is, it will dispel me. If I hit Shift+S, it will dispel Bonnie, and if I hit Control+S, it will dispel Auto, which is my healer. And what you want to do when you make these macros is you want to make sure that your S is not bound to anything else. So like if I have a modifier macro for S and I have something else, like let's say my Shift 5 right here was Shift+S, if I'm making any sense, it wouldn't work. So you want to make sure that your S is completely clear of keybinds on any of your action bars or any of your special targeting. So make sure S is clear, or whatever keybind you choose to use, and then the modifier macro should work. I will be leaving a copy paste for this modifier macro in the description, and if you want to change a spell, like let's say you want to use it for Vivify or your heal, or if you want to use it for something like Tiger's Lust, you could just replace like Detox with like Tiger's Lust, like that. Let's move on to my Fist of Fury macro. I should add cancel aura Rushing Jade Wind. You just don't really run it anymore. No, I used to. Never mind. Forget that. This is a pet attack / cancel aura Spinning Crane Kick macro for Fist of Fury. It makes sure that I get the Fist of Fury cast off, and my pet attack, if I summon and invoke, is going to target my target. Rushing Jade, you don't want to put a cancelaura Rushing Jade Wind in your Fist of Fury because Rushing Jade Wind still does damage while you're doing Fist of Fury if you're running that. Alright. Let's move down to my Karma macro. What this does is it allows me to make sure Karma goes off and I'm not animation locked. So if you're stuck in a spin and crank kick animation, it can kind of soft lock you for like, it's less than a second. It just makes sure that you instantly get your Karma off when you need it. So, and also I have a cancelaura for Hand of Protection because usually when I Karma, I want to make sure that the full damage goes out. So I take advantage of that and I can turn Karma into an offensive cooldown. So it is shift to tip and then slash stop casting, slash cancelaura spinning crank kick, slash cancelaura Hand of Protection, and then slash cast Touch of Karma. Again, I'll be leaving all these in the description below. Let's get to a really unique macro that was, I believe Fortin. So shout out to Fortin for finding this macro. I don't use it that much because I'm so used to the monk roll anyway because I've been playing it for several years. But this is a cancel roll macro. Now this does not work with Chi Torpedo, but it works with regular roll. What it does is that if you roll and you hit roll again while you're rolling, it'll stop early. So I'll show you an example. So right here, if I roll, that's full distance, but if I hit it quick, it stops it really fast. And it can be really useful for cutting corners in arenas. It could be useful for if you want to make sure that you only want to go a certain distance, like let's say you're on Azoth and you get chained and you only want to go a certain distance to catch up to your chained target or your chained partner, to only roll a specific distance so you can catch up to them really fast. Again, I don't really use this macro that often because I'm so used to the monk roll distance anyway because I've been playing it for several years, but it can be very useful for other people. So again, very useful macro. It'll take a little bit of getting used to. Again, I don't really use it, but I can imagine it'd be useful for a lot of people. Alright, so Touch of Death. Touch of Death is a special macro. This basically makes sure that if you go for, this is mainly a PvP macro, it makes sure that if you go for Touch of Death while it targets Paralysis, you will not break the Touch of Death with auto attacks, you will not break it with anything. So if you want to go up to like, you know, Paralysis someone, and you want to pop Touch of Death, you won't break the Paralysis. It just ensures that this was mainly used for Legion, because Touch of Death was like more lethal in Legion, and a lot of your burst setup was a incap on your target, Paralysis, wait for the Touch of Death to barely go off, and then do damage right when the Touch of Death went off, if that makes any sense. But this macro is really useful because if you still go for those sort of setups like Paralysis into a leg sweep, or if you want to Paralysis, Touch of Death, and then leg sweep your target right when the Paralysis goes off, it just makes sure that you do not break your Paralysis with auto attacks or anything like that when Touch of Death when you pop Touch of Death on your target. So again, shift to Touch of Death, target last target, cancelaura Rushing Jade Wind, cancelaura spinning crank kick, use at target exists. And again, I'll be leaving this in the description as well. That was just a meme macro, but let's see what else do we have here. I know I'm missing one, I think. Pet follow. This is a useful macro for arenas. I probably won't leave this in the description, but pretty much what happens if you're popping Storm Within Fire and your clones get CC'd, you lose damage if your clones are out, so you cancel aura, Storm Within Fire, or cancel aura. There we go. cancelaura storm with the fire. But yeah, that's pretty much the macros I use, other than focus macros like focus kick, focus paralysis. I have separate less macros for healers and DPS. I think that's everything really. My racial. But that's pretty much it. Alright. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Again, if you liked the video, hit like. Hopefully it helped. Again, I try to stream every single day at twitch.tv/Xuen. Hopefully I'll see you guys there. And I will see you all in the next video. Hopefully I'll be able to work on more videos. There's not gonna be a PvP movie. Excuse me, this expansion, but next expansion I do plan on releasing a PvP movie. So look forward to that. See you guys later. Peace.